Hello and welcome to This Week in Bitcoin, brought to you by Relai Private. This is the last edition of 2024, but yet there is still a lot that happened this week, so let's get stuck in right away. News number one come out of Strive Asset Management, which is an asset manager in the close relationship with Vivek Ramaswamy, and they announced the plans for a Strive Bitcoin Bond ETF, which gives investors exposure to all of these companies that are issuing debt and issuing convertible notes or other forms of debt to then raise the bar and buy Bitcoin. That is a financial instrument that can be traded, very popular amongst institutional investors because you can do certain strategies there. It's a derivative at the end of the day in a bond, so there's a lot of leverage and a lot of free room there. However, for regular investors, it's a bit too complicated and they much rather have an ETF to invest into this. Strive is actually aiming to solve this problem by offering this ETF, and it would also open up the entire market for other companies who are public and announce these bonds or these convertible notes to be taken into this ETF and then also traded. Does it solve the problem Bitcoin solves? No, it's not Bitcoin after all, but it gains exposure into the world of Bitcoin and makes the companies that hold Bitcoin on the behalf of their reserves extremely bullish and makes it very attractive for asset managers such as Strive to invest in. News number two come out of Russia, and they're also split in half. First news, a bit negative. They imposed a 6-year ban in 10 regions in Russia due to energy outages and shortages. Not really an argument to ban mining there, because at the end of the day, it's really hard to actually determine where the energy is coming from. However, they did that. It's now going on. The miners have to wait 6 years. They will probably just relocate to another region in Russia where it's still allowed and cheap. However, with that being the negative news, we also had some bullish news coming out of Russia. And those are that the finance minister basically approved that Russia is using Bitcoin in foreign trade affairs, whether to pay for commodities, for oil, for gas, for energy, or to simply use it as a swap mechanism from Russian money into the US dollar, where they're still sanctioned, but they're basically sanctioned everywhere in the West if you look at the pound, the euro, and the US dollar. However, Bitcoin solves this problem because it A, doesn't know any boundaries, and it's B, very transportable and very easy to maneuver from A to B. So interestingly, on one end, they block the Bitcoin mining sites. Okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt with the energy stuff. And on the other hand, they then stepped up and use it as a main currency for foreign trade. Whether that will have a positive impact, because after all, Russia kind of is the bad guy, and now it's again Bitcoin associated with foreign trade in a heavily censored country or in a heavily sanctioned country. However, it also proves that Bitcoin doesn't care, and it's actually an open network for anyone to participate in. And then the last news are more of the corporate news. We have, again, a shareholder meeting organized by Michael Saylor for MicroStrategy shareholders, where he's discussing of actually raising his ATM offering. Famously now 42 billion is going to be raised, half of that in an ATM offering and the other half just simply through debt issuance. And now he's potentially going for a bigger number. Whether that will pay out, whether shareholders will agree to this, we will see. He's running through his cash immensely quickly. If you want to find out why, watch the interview with him a couple of weeks back now with us on our channel where he explained it in detail. However, it makes it seem like MicroStrategy, the perma bull, is not stopping anytime soon. And then the last news come out of Japan, where Metaplanet has been the best performing stock on the Japanese market this year alone. An incredible feat. The company is also, or at least the Bitcoin holdings, are now 12 times more worth than what the entire company was worth in April before they started buying Bitcoin. So amazing to see for the team. Everyone involved there did a really great job. And it's another example to prove that having Bitcoin on the reserve as a public company, but obviously also as a private company, just makes sense. And with that, we're at the end of This Week in Bitcoin for 2024. It was the last episode. I am looking forward to seeing you next week again in the first one in 2025. Drill, if you got questions, feedback, just leave a comment below. And I wish you a very good end to this year. And I look forward to seeing you next week again. Same place, same time.